Tube Review.
What's going on, Tube Nation? Tony Tube's coming back at you. Last night I got to watch Terminator Genisys, and I have 15 reasons why this movie sucks ass. Why take hostages for termination? They're picking up people, stray people, the machines are, and they're taking them to some place just to be exterminated? My buddy Adam St. Paul even said it about Terminator Salvation, where they have Kyle Reese in their little hand grip thing, and they say, hey, it's Kyle Reese right there, and everything. And then they go, oh, and they take him somewhere else. Why don't you just squash him right there? Just kill them all. Just kill them all. Why does Kyle Reese have the picture before they even find the time machine? John Connor even said that he gave Kyle Reese the picture of Sarah Connor like a while ago, and he didn't know what exactly was going to happen. He didn't know that he had to go to send somebody back into the past. And the other thing is if he did know, because they, are saying, can you tell the future and everything? If he did know, then why hesitate when Kyle Reese was like, I'll go save her? Why even question it? Because he's like, why should I send you? And it's like, I don't get it. Why give him the picture? Why did he have the picture beforehand? It just seems so stupid to me. And it's just another play off of the first Terminator, and it's just stupid. Reese has a dream for his future in the beginning, Jai Cordles. He's got a dream for his future and everything. And he's saying, oh, well, I'm going to go and rebuild my parents' place. Our house that got destroyed by the machines, I'm going to go and rebuild that. And then all of a sudden, he's going in the past. Nobody explains to him right then and there that this is a one-way trip. Nor does he have any thought in his mind about what he's leaving behind. There was absolutely nothing in the movie about them saying this is a one-way trip. And in the original Terminator, if we're going off of that, he knew when he got there that it's a one-way trip. He knew that he was going there and he wasn't going to be able to go back. So, stupid. Jai Courtney screaming Sarah. Sarah! Sarah! It's Jai Courtney. When Michael Biehn screamed Sarah, there was urgency in his voice, and you felt for these two people and everything like that. And there was just nothing behind it. There was absolutely nothing behind him, and it was just annoying, and he said it way too much. Like, I think I counted like 17 times where he was like, Sarah! And it was stupid. That if I would have been the director, I would have been like, cut, we need to figure this out, Jai. You would think that after years of Pops being with Sarah Connor, since she was like 9 or 11 or something like that he would be more acclimated to human behavior. And he's not. He's almost dumber than he was in Terminator 2 when it comes to human habits and human behavior and human interactions and stuff like that. So you'd think that after all that time that he would have developed that, but no, he was still just so plain and emotionless about it all and had so many questions still. And it just seems that if he was on, if he was in our time and he was that much time around humans and stuff like that, that he would have figured it all out. The worst line of any Terminator movie. And it's when all of a sudden Reese has this big old problem with Terminators through the whole thing, and he has a big old problem with Arnold and stuff, and he doesn't trust him or anything like that. And then all of a sudden John Connor shows up, and John Connor ends up, spoiler alert, John Connor ends up being a bad guy and stuff, and you see the old Terminator come in, you see, Pops come in and just start unloading on him and stuff, and then she's like, why are you doing this? And then Kyle Reese like, 'cause he's a killer! And like, seriously, dude, it was the most cheesy, god-awful shit I've ever seen in my life. Thanks, Jai Courtney. If this movie had no predecessors, one could say it was an okay job of a Sci-Fi Channel movie premiere. Like a made-for-the Sci-Fi Channel kind of thing. If Terminator never came out, and there was never any Terminators or anything like that, and this movie came out, it might have been something worth watching. But just knowing the history of it all, it just butchered it. And they tried to kind of do a Star Trek thing with changing time up and everything, but it was just terrible. Kyle Reese was never dumb. Kyle Reese was a very intricate person who had a lot of plans. He knew what he was doing. He lived on the seat of his pants, but he was able to conform that into a plan of some sort. And he was a leader. He was a war hero. He was somebody that John Connor looked at and trusted and everything like that. And when he gets there, all of a sudden, Sarah Connor's this badass and stuff like that, and he's just whittled down to this dumb shit. And he, honestly, dude, he had no business calling himself Kyle Reese. The Kyle Reese that I remember, he would have been right alongside her in this movie, tearing some shit up. But he honestly was just a big dumb oaf the whole time. And that's all it was. And it was fucking lame. Toasty! In 2017, why didn't Reese obviously know that something might be wrong when he sees John Connor show up? He had no qualms with just running and giving him a big old hug. And it's like, you know, seriously, Kyle Reese would have, that would have been something for him. That would have thrown up a red flag in Kyle Reese, in the Kyle Reese that I grew up knowing. I mean, he wouldn't have trusted that. And I think that was really stupid and really fucked up. Toasty! So Sarah Connor takes them all to, her and Pops take them to this like little secret hideout that they have, and it's all secret and everything. And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. They figure out that the bad, guy's on the way and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden they leave, and all of a sudden outside it's a tourist trap, and there's school buses. And we're gonna take some school buses now and stuff. When it was like supposed to be this secret location, and when they got there it was all secretive and there was nobody around. And all of a sudden they leave, and it's a big tourist trap with school buses. School buses. Toasty! You know how in Bond movies they, the bad guy leaves Bond there, and all of a sudden, he escapes because you left him there and stuff like that. Well, they kept doing that with John Connor when John Connor became evil and stuff. All of a sudden they have this thing and it's working and he's being stopped and everything, and then just leave. And it's like, why don't you stay there and finish the job? Take his fucking head off, man. Do something. Bullshit. Toasty! The movie is very confusing. Like, seriously, I'm used to time travel movies, and I can usually think about it enough to be able to get it all. But this movie was just so off track, all over the place. And here's this alternate timeline, but they're shifting into the same timelines. And who's this guy that came up behind John Connor? And then oh my gosh! And then this guy happened, and then this guy came back to the original time, and all this. It was just a mess. It was just a mess. And I really tried, people. I really tried to understand it, but I just left it going. Okay, all right. Toasty! Throughout the entire movie, there was a lot of beatdowns, a lot of Terminator beatdowns. There was Terminator versus Terminator throughout the entire movie. Different Terminators and coming at you. Terminator. Different Terminators, T-1000 Terminators, and new Terminators, and all sorts of different stuff. And every single time there was like a Terminator fight, which was a lot, there was just like Terminators flying through walls. Like, they broke so many walls. So many fake walls were broken in the making of this film. And so it was just it was just too much throwing Terminators through the wall. We got it. Toasty! Jai Courtney's American accent sucks. Jai Courtney, your American accent sucks. And if you look at the Suicide Squad trailer that just dropped, you know what to say about the crazy ones, and you got to use his Aussie accent and everything like that. And he sounds really badass, and I just think it's like him and Sam Worthington and Ben Kingsley and a bunch of other people, Anna Paquin. They all have terrible American accents, just awful American accents. And so if you can't do an American accent, and that's one of the things I think that people hate about Jai Courtney, is the fact that his American accent blows dogs for quarters. Toasty. You're not gonna stop Skynet. You're not gonna stop Judgment Day. Okay, in this one they kind of did and stuff like that. But it's bullshit, man. That's the entire reason behind it, is the fact that Skynet is never going to stop. It's gonna happen. Judgment Day will happen. And this movie, they tried to, everybody's still alive at the end, and it's just amazing, and it's just this happy, wonderful. No, at the end of this movie, it needed to be going down the road, the storm is coming. We might have stopped it right now, but the storm is still coming. It will happen, and we need to get ready for it. And that's what they're missing from this one, is the feel from the first one. The first couple is that feeling of just not knowing what's going to happen, and the end is near. And that's just something that they tried to pull away from with this and try to make it kind of a happy little thing and stuff. And that's why this movie sucks. In the words of the Workaholics, this movie was extremely loose butthole. It was terrible. And I just think that if they're going to make any more Terminator movies at all, they need to make Terminator movies where it focuses on something else and not John Connor and time travel and everything. Focus on the Resistance more. I know that they touched on that in Salvation, but it's still focused on John Connor. It's still focused around this thing. John Connor should be a legend. That's what John Connor should be. We should have some Terminator movies coming out to where John Connor's this thing that they talk about sometimes and everything, and he's referenced. But we need to see other battles with the Terminators and stuff like that, and the Resistance, and seeing more of that along those lines. That would be cool, and that's what I would like to see in future Terminator movies. Otherwise, just stop making Terminator movies, because they're just terrible, and they keep getting worse. And so just stop. But anyways, so I have to give this Tubes, I'm going to say 1 thumb out of 5. 1 tube thumb up. It sucked, man. This movie sucked, and I knew it was going to suck, but sometimes, even though I think a movie's going to suck, it doesn't suck. There are certain things about even terrible movies that I will say are really awesome and were really cool. The only thing about this movie that was really cool was I actually got to see, a couple of, the mechanical Terminators, without the skin on them and everything like that, duking it out, and that's one of the things I've always liked about the movies is like the live action Terminators and, the practical effects and everything, which this movie had some, but not much. But, so yeah, the movie sucked. It was terrible. 1 thumb up, and that's, Jesus, man, that's even giving it a lot of credit. Terminator Genisys. Okay, 1 thumb up. So that is my tube review of Terminator Genisys, and that is 1 thumb up out of 5. It was a god-awful movie. Stay tuned. I will be doing my Mad Max Fury Road tube review coming soon, and that one's going to be a lot of fun. So stick around. Make sure you catch me on Completely Unoriginal. We have a YouTube channel now, and so there's a link in the description below to that. And so check me out on that. And that's just a podcast that I do out of Dakota Broadcasting with some good guys named Adam St. Paul and Kurt Campbell. And we talk about 20 minutes about, different kinds of nerd stuff and everything. So it's a lot of fun. Check it out. And make sure you tune in. Just keep tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I love comments and everything. And I'm going to get to some of your guys' requests for certain videos and everything like that. So thank you guys very, very much. Have a good day.
Tube review.
Shh. Can I tell you a secret? I streamed it online for free.